Hi everyone. Awalé Resources. Okay, we are solely a active explorer in Cote D'Ivoire, and we've been there for a number of years now. We come out of the Mariana stable, which was sold to Sandstorm, and we effectively took the Ivorian assets out and refloated it as Awalé. So just in terms of our main operations and our focus, we do have Odienne there up in the northwest that is highlighted, and that's actually where we see a significant change in the momentum of Awalé going forward. We have been busy in Bonduku as well, and that actually was where we called that our flagship project, and we have effectively about 80 kilometers of known mineralized trend there. We have been operating there, haven't quite hit the zone, so we actually effectively are still just moved that to a sort of a second tier at the moment. And as I said, the focus of Odienne going forward is a move from pure orogenic gold to one of effectively iron oxide copper gold as well, which is we'll go through now. Just quickly, corporate structure. We do have 27 odd million shares in issue, but the most important thing to note is obviously that the company was formed out of assets that were sitting within Sandstorm. Sandstorm has been a major supporter of ours going forward. Management has been a contributor and owns 20-odd%, and we do have some major Canadian institutions there as well. And in terms of the board, and as well as the management team, we are effectively, as I said, active explorers coming out of Mariana, and you can see the credibility there. We do operate in terms of a strict social license, and one that we certainly adhere to and feel quite strongly about. So just coming to really Odienne and why what's the significance of Odienne. And as I say, we originally were looking purely for gold orogenic basis. And in terms of the last drill program that we encountered an intercept there, which really had significant hematite alteration with all the characteristics of an iron oxide copper gold alteration style. With the work that we've done, and all the data that we've collated, we sort of started looking at what are the synergies or analogues around the world, and certainly the confidence in saying that we do feel that this is an IOCG system that we're in, and especially when one looks at other major IOCG provinces, and it's global provinces we're talking about, the Caracas province in South America, Olympic Dam province in Australia. We're sitting on this crustal margin, of the stable, the cratons, and effectively we're sitting on this, as I say, crustal margin where we're seeing significant amount of intrusive rocks or bodies coming through, delivering magmatic fluid or various pulses of fluid, but a lot of magmatic fluid. So we're quite confident in terms of our analogy here, and it's something that we're quite excited about going forward. So just coming to Odienne, and really what I'm saying is in the south there, we find that we've got the Empire discovery, which is the long elliptical shape on the bottom, and that's really an old structure, deep-seated old structure, a lot of myelinite alteration, and where we're seeing this this orogenic style gold. And the Empire discovery is a relatively small deposit at the moment, but however, it is a high-grade orogenic deposit, and we'll go through a little bit of that. In our last drill campaign, which was actually about June last year, we were looking for satellite deposits within this model of ours, and we drilled the Charger prospect. Now, Charger it's a nice 700-meter gold anomaly, and we did 4 fences over it. All was anomalous, nothing that great. However, the one hole that came in was hole 89, RC89, that produced that nice hematite alteration that you can see down in the bottom there, but effectively 3 meters at 9 grams gold, 89 grams of silver, and 0.7% copper. So suddenly, this has changed our thinking in terms of what system are we on here. The whole project itself, we've always known there's been it certainly has polymetallic anomalism. But as I said, we are focusing on this pure golds play. With Charger happening, suddenly we took a step back and actually looked at all our data, and we've seen specifically Septa there in the middle, we see this large copper-gold footprint of around 20 square kilometers, effectively about 20 times the size of Charger. And one of the key things to note, coming back to the IOCG, is really the other elements or polymetallic nature of these things, and specifically the silver, bismuth, molybdenum, and tungsten. So we see in those signatures is what we would have seen in those global provinces, and we're sitting in the same sort of anomalism that we would be expecting. So that's given us quite a lot of confidence. We've done a lot of work here now. We are trying to refine our targets. We are trying to be getting to drill targeting. We do have to do geophysics for those deeper bodies to try and target our drilling. But essentially, this is, in terms of Odienne itself, we're now not only on this orogenic system down south where we're trying to build up satellite deposits, similar to the Roxgold Segila deposit in the sense of those satellite deposits. Here, we're on the western splay. They were on the eastern splay of the Sasandra fault. And so we carry on looking for those satellite deposits in the south, as well as moving forward with this new IOCG model, which obviously offers, significant scale in terms of alteration style, in terms of mineralization and potential deposits. So just quickly going to Empire down in the south. Just highlighting, what we have down there. So as I say, this is a smallish deposit. It's contained, however, in terms of what you see in there on the left, it certainly seems contained. However, there are offsets. And if you look in the corridor, that Empire corridor where we've got all that anomalism, that heat map, that thing carries on for 20 kilometers. And what you're seeing in terms of that is only 3 kilometers with multiple anomalism within there. We have tested outside of the main zone. And we do have to the east, we have an offset, which has similar alteration, but not quite as thick as what we have in the main zone. The main zone is roughly 250 meters long, 135 meters wide, and around 30 meters in width, with this visible high-grade gold within a brittle ductile zone with a nice recoveries on a leach well basis of 95%. So we are, as I say, extending that to try and basically pool in ounces and grow those ounces. In terms of the iron oxide copper gold targets, the Septa targets, as I say, this was effectively a 5 kilometer long copper gold anomaly. And we have done more, collected more data, more soil geochem, a lot of term material work, a lot of multi-element analysis, XRF analysis, and we have 2 significant targets that have actually been refined within that. The Septa East, and on the left is the copper, on the right is the gold, and there's really nice coincidence between the copper gold. So, and when you look at Charger down to the south of that, that's where we had the initial intercept, significant larger footprint that we're seeing here. So that's actually pretty exciting for us as we actually chase this. And the idea is, as I say, looking for, we do want to be doing some gravity in terms of being able to define deeper bodies as well as mag as well. And then follow up with some scout drilling. In terms of the greater Odienne province and Awalé's position, so we have Odienne, the red there, that is our granted license. We have our application to the west, which hasn't had any work done. Randgold had done some work in the 1990s. There are some soil maps from that. We know the multi-element anomalism polymetallic anomalism carries on, so as well as that Empire corridor to the south. Further to the north, the setting, as I said, that crustal setting that we're on, we have 2 more applications in there, one slightly to the north and one a little bit further to the north, closer to the Mali border. So with the focus being for us on Odienne itself, where we know we've got some hooks into the system. We've got the orogenic system which we're building ounces, the IOCG system that we hope to uncover and unlock, and then we've got our exploration upside further to the north. And then, as I say, Bonduku in the west, where we did significant work early on, still is very anomalous, multiple targets, and as I say, for us now, we're still just going to be carrying on defining targets on a low-cost basis, probably with a potential to joint venture out the Bonduku project. Thank you.